Welcome to more Documentatin, getting to the forbidden zone and the crew. Y'all have already seen how to get in the water via the tutorial, and y'all have already seen where you can go once you are in the water via the first video. And well, this will be the video to show why it ain't necessarily as easy as it should be on paper to get to where you want to get to in the water. And I'll go ahead and show y'all how. This is where I start to think that maybe, just maybe, the developers made this something different. This isn't just a lot of random occurrences of stuff they didn't want to get to, and they didn't really edit or do anything to. I think they actually put some effort into making this an actual challenge. To start off here, this is a whole heck of a big jump right yonder. That's a lot of jump to be going up to, and where you can't not jump that. And so, well, I jumped that. That does seem kind of fishy that there's just a random giant bump in the middle of the ocean that you're driving on, that it seems like that's just sort of there for no reason. But anyway, I jumped that. I go for one backflip. I have plenty of room for two backflip, but I end up above the water, so I land back in the water, and that's a wreck. That's probably what should happen, and really, that's no big deal. What kind of makes me think is what happens next. It's still loading, folks. A lot of the times when it resets you, it's pretty much automatic. It's still loading. In the crew, if you wreck, you pretty much reset where you wreck, unless you wreck in the water, then you reset to the closest land point, and where I was already in the water to begin with. In theory, that means I should get reset pretty much where I wrecked, but in the water. Instead, wait for it, I get reset in some random place extremely far from where I was. Which, that almost definitely means that the developers put effort into this, because in every other time you wreck, you reset in a pretty fixed location close to where you were. In this, I think they actually put effort into making sure the spawn point is crazy far from where you were, because that actually adds a challenge. Because you don't want to wreck while doing this, because if you wreck, you go way back. And if you go way back, that's that much more time going into it. And that much more time they have to travel more, which means that much more of a chance of wrecking again, thus having the same thing happen. So yeah, this actually got me truly and really thinking that the developers put effort into someone who actually finds this having this be a challenge. And that's pretty cotton-picking cool. They put effort into something no one was even really supposed to find. That's pretty cotton-picking cool, and this proves it even more so. I'm going real fast like on my motorbike here, and, well, that sort of looks like an impossible jump there. And, well, it is. Y'all haven't even seen half of it yet. That's a hole, which means if you try to jump over that hole, you're just going to hit the side at an angle where you ain't necessarily going to go up. And if you slow down and try to avoid the hole and hit it at a better angle, you can't go up that hill. So yeah, one of the ways that you can go, in theory, you can't actually go. And most of the other bridges are not even connected to the floor. But this one, they made sure a bridge is not just connected, but there's a giant hill and the hole at the bottom of the hill there. So they pretty much made one way impassable. Which means that you didn't have to backtrack and try a different way, which may very well have another challenge in and of itself. So yeah, they've definitely put some effort into this, because on most of the other bridges, they're just kind of easy. You just go under them and it's over. That one, not so much. And for the next thing here, I go to a dam. And that dam is on the other path, a different pathway to get to the same location after that first path was blocked. And this one's sort of the same thing. There's no way around that dam that I can see. I go into this view to see if I can see a way around. I don't, because if you try to get out of the water, it will not reset you back in the water. So once you're out, you're out. And you pretty much need a giant jump with a really speedy car to get back in, and there ain't really that here. So, there ain't no way around it, there ain't no way through it, I'm pretty sure there ain't no way above it, so I'm pretty much gonna have to find a way under it, and well, that doesn't work either because it's solid. So at this point, I'm kinda at a conundrum, and well, I try for 15 or so minutes just doing random stuff, random stuff, random stuff, random stuff. Again, in theory, a dam would work like a bridge, really. It just wouldn't connect at the bottom, and you can pretty much pass through it easily, which pretty much means how it should be, because you wouldn't think they'd put effort in trying to make sure everything connect in an area that no one really even gets to, which makes sense. But this dam, that definitely connects, and it's definitely yet another challenge that wasn't really expected to be there on paper. And eventually, 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 I think I'm getting there. And, yeah, I think I'm there now. Yeah, there you go. You pretty much have to do a whole heck of heap of crazy stuff to even be able to get around the dam. Honestly, it was a lot of just me trying random stuff, and eventually I tried a combination of stuff that worked. I don't know if you have to do like that exact random combination that I can't even remember, or if it's just sort of once you get to a point you've done enough and it just sort of, if you get past the point you're good. But yeah, that's yet more effort that was put in that I'm very much surprised even happened. Like this, or I'll get to it before. This is a invisible wall that literally isn't there for any other reason that I can think of other than the developers put that there. I don't know why they would be there in just a random, unedited piece of land that you shouldn't even get to, but there's an invisible wall there. That, well, it's invisible, so that's definitely not going to be seen on paper. And for the final random occurrence also on this video, and it's probably the most crazy of all the random occurrences, I try yet another path, and I see a bridge there that I might think might be a bit glitchy, but that's not the one I had to worry about. The one I had to worry about was the one I was at right now, because this looks relatively normal, or at least as normal as driving under an ocean that you're not even supposed to get to is. And, well, everything's going fine and dandy right now, just looking at the weird scenery, and, well, it is weird, and it is quite wonderful as well. And I am going to hell now. Yeah, that's the end of what they edited. I don't think there's any other points on the map where they just quit having an undersea area. I think that's sort of them putting in some effort there too, or purposely editing out stuff, putting in effort to make it worse. Because yeah, I'm just falling to the bottom of the map right now. I can get a whole heck of a heap of backflips in, but yeah, this ain't get me anywhere. So that's yet another path that I can't cross, and yeah, that's the actual same path that had the dam in it too. Which means now when I backtrack, I have to backtrack through that dam that took 15 minutes to get through in the first place. So yeah, that's a double challenge. You put all that work to get through the dam, and then they still make it impossible because the land literally just ends. So yeah, they definitely put some effort into making sure this is a challenge, and I ain't necessarily complaining. I was expecting a just quicker than lickety split drive there with no problem whatsoever, but this is actually a fun challenge they put in that you actually have to think about and memorize where certain stuff is to remember to not go in that area again. So then you have to memorize other paths that you have to take to remember that path in and of itself. And then that new path you have to take, you have to make sure to not go through those other obstacles that you know might end up hurting you again. So yeah, that's a whole heck of heap stuff there that you have to remember that makes this a really challenging random occurrence, honestly. That's actually pretty big cool. And for the next video, also actually getting there, maybe. But there's been a whole heck of heap of chaos so far that I honestly wasn't expecting, and maybe there'll be more. But maybe, just maybe, I'll eventually get to the destination I am trying to get to. And hopefully it comes with a lot more excitement, and, well, I'm pretty big and sure it will. And as always, yeehaw!